simple man making his way through the galaxy.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Carbonite Convos. Tonight we're doing something different. You are watching the first episode review here on Carbonite Convos. So we just finished Book of Boba Fett Chapter 3, and now we're going to do a completely separate video from our reaction, and we're going to review it. So if this is your first time joining us, you've just taken your first step into a larger world, and if it isn't, we can't thank you enough for coming back to the channel. Alec, I'm excited to switch it up.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to try out a new format, have a little fun with it, and it'll be really exciting to talk about what we just saw, having just finished watching the episode. So before we get into it, guys, go check out our other video coming out as well, of the physical reaction of the episode. Drop a quick like on both these videos, a comment as well. Go ahead and hit that sub button while you're at it, and I'm ready to roll into some Boba Fett, man.
Yeah, man. So that was an awesome episode. I'd say, where does it rank for you in terms of episodes so far?
I'd probably say number 2.
Really?
I really liked last week's.
Yeah, I'd say last week was my favorite, and then this is kind of second tier with chapter 1. I think the first thing that really stuck out was the scene with the Tuscan Raiders, where we now have an emotional attachment to this tribe. And to be honest with you, I did not expect to see us lose them so quickly. But what I do want to point out is that we did not see the female Tuscan in that
Right.
stack.
We also didn't see the young
panorama.
one either. So
Yeah.
who knows? They really only showed 2 or 3 bodies.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
unfortunately,
they didn't
like some of the clan did get taken out, but
maybe they didn't do the women and the children too. Maybe they
Right.
just killed the men and kept the women and the children.
the women and the children too. Yeah, no.
But that was powerful, and it's going to be interesting to see his relationship with the Pikes moving forward, because there still is that power struggle right now, and I'm really curious to see where the relationship is between when we see the Pikes in the flashback from tonight and at the very end of the episode working with the mayor.
Right. Chances are there's bad blood between the two of them. Like obviously, like
assume.
being left off. The last dream we've seen so far is him going to the Pikes after the Tuscan Raiders were killed, and so we have no idea what's happened.
No, that was before. Like when he left the Pikes.
Oh, that was on the way back from the Pikes.
Because
that's right. That is
so
right.
they killed him while he was gone.
Right. No, with that being said, like it's interesting because we don't know if he went back for vengeance, if they've even seen each other since then. So I'm excited to see, like, odds are he's already ran into him and gone back
with
and got revenge with the Pikes. But
I don't think the Pikes don't have anything. I don't think so at this point, really. Maybe, but I think we'll have to wait to see that play out. I think the immediate revenge or vengeance will be against this gang that killed them. So I think we're going to see that first and see if the Pikes play into it. But it's super interesting to see just how attached I've gotten to this tribe, and then to just see them just slain like that. That was really sad and insanely emotional. And as soon as he pulled up and gave that blank stare and the camera starts panning out, I knew that we were going to see something devastating, because when you start in on a character and you go away from his face like that, you're about to see what he's looking at, and whatever he was looking at that point, you knew it wasn't going to be good.
Well, then we saw
obviously.
The smoke right after, and we're like, oh, God.
We saw the smoke before.
Right.
The smoke was before. That's what. That was like the immediate thing. It was like something seemed off, and then we all know what happens next. But that was really tough to watch. Anything else from the flashbacks?
No, again, just that kind of add on with the Tuscan Raiders, it's really interesting to see how Boba attaches to certain things. Like obviously the Tuscan Raiders saved his life, and taught him, how to fight again, and really set him up for success, really. And what we do know from New Boba is that he is forever in your service until the favor is returned, or whether, like we saw in Mando, until the child is returned to your possession. So I'm really excited to see what Boba does to make things right for the people that he lost.
Definitely. And I think it's going to be interesting to see flashbacks in future episodes, because we keep before we get to the point where it's adult Boba, we always go to young Boba first. And I can't imagine why it would be like that. It's got to be something.
I would guess it's going to lead up until Jango's death, because I'm sure that was traumatic for him, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we go back to the argument all the time. Like, when he picked up that helmet, was his head inside of that helmet? I can only imagine as a child, like, picking up the helmet and seeing your father's head pop out would be traumatizing.
Yeah, but what got me is that it was literally the exact same scene as last week.
When he's looking through the window, I don't know.
Yeah, and he's watching Django leave, obviously in Slave One, and it's like he's looking out to. You could tell that he's gonna miss his dad. I don't know if he's, thinking about himself being in those shoes one day, or if he's literally just thinking about missing his dad. But it's interesting to see him watch his dad leave to go off to God knows where. But
I
want to know where that's going to play in.
What if it's maybe Django leaving or flying the ship away is like one instance in which he leaves that leads up into his death? Like, maybe he's going to talk to Obi-Wan or something along those lines, run into him, and then obviously whenever he comes back, like, they have their whole thing.
See, I don't know if it necessarily has something to do directly with Django's death.
You don't think so?
I picture it more as him, just something that was really important, something that one of those images in his mind that he will always remember, of him being on Camino, being asleep, and seeing his dad leave in the middle of the night. I don't know if that directly relates to his death. It might just be one of the memories he has of his dad, but I don't know. It's got to symbolize something, or have some type of deeper meaning.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm sure we will get a little bit more explanation.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just going to be like a routine of him falling asleep and dreaming while he's in the back to tank, as him always going back to this one core memory.
Yeah, exactly. The core memory. And then we see Boba wake up, and it was not a pleasurable, it wasn't the most delightful wake up that you could imagine, but it was awesome for viewers to see that.
I don't think I would enjoy being woken up by a Wookiee grabbing my neck.
No, especially Black Chrysanthemum.
Nope, I don't. No thanks.
No, and he is so badass. I did not expect to see a fight between them that soon.
No, absolutely not. I figured that would be more of a long-term thing. I'm honestly surprised the Hutts got out of this. Like, I imagine like it would be mostly dealing with Pikes, but I didn't think the Hutts would be like leaving for good. But if you think about it, that's kind of a win in Boba's book, is getting the Hutts off the planet.
Yeah, and kind of having good relations with them.
Right.
So we see him make up with them after he captures Black Chrysanthemum with his new little squad. So that's really cool. Boba's starting to show some leadership qualities where people are starting to respect him. It looks like he has, like I mentioned, he has this little squad with him that was able to help him out right before it looked like he was about to die. So they were able to capture Black Chrysanthemum. Obviously, the twins come up with a present for him. How awesome is that present?
Well, one, it was, where exactly do you get a Rancor? Like,
Exactly.
I know we've seen it before, like, kind of, but like, one, those aren't exactly like common currency, so that's a huge gift to him. Two, this thing is obviously now attached to him, so we're gonna see Boba riding a freaking Rancor at some point, which is an awesome sentence to say out loud.
I know, right? I know that's gonna be really, really cool to see, because you can already tell there's a connection between the two. So to think about him having a Rancor and just having that extra threat level as well, that's something where I definitely think we're gonna see that play out more in the show. Not just him connecting with it, but him feeding him, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm curious. I know like Boba isn't like religious or really connected with Mandalore or anything along those lines, but obviously he is, canonically a Mandalorian. Does he have a signet by chance? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
it's
just
a
curious.
Rancor.
I was about to say maybe it's a Rancor. Maybe it
He
becomes a Rancor.
gets his hands on some Beskar. Never
That'd be
know.
sweet. That'd be
Never know.
sweet.
So we're dealing more and more with the Pikes, which leads me to believe that, sorry to jump off track, but it
No, you're
leads me
fine.
to believe that we might see Dryden Voss or Kira at some point in this series.
I feel like my guess would be Kira.
It would be really cool to see Dryden or Kira, but I don't know how that'll play out. It kind of leans into the leaks and rumors about Han showing up, so
Right.
that kind of substantiates it a little bit.
That's still
Um,
wild to me.
I know.
Of all things,
Well, it makes sense. Boba and Han Solo, they have a past.
there's a connection there.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see Black Chrysanthemum again?
If I have to guess, I think so.
I hope so.
I feel like from what I understand about Black Satan is that he's basically exiled by the rest of the Wookiees. They don't like him.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if they decide to make the character kind of have a change of heart and like want to do the right thing and embrace, being a Wookiee. Like every Wookiee we've ever seen has been like the best friend type of character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm curious if Boba freeing him is that thing that's like, you know what? Maybe I'll give this guy a chance. Maybe I'll help him out. Maybe he comes back later on in a few episodes and saves Boba in some way.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. And we still have the chance to see some other bounty hunters throughout the galaxy. But overall, this episode was super interesting. Is there anything else? I think this was a little bit, it wasn't a slower episode,
No, a
but I
lot
just don't
happened.
think see, a lot did happen, but it was a couple big instances. You have the flashback, you have him getting the Rancor, and then you have the mayor working with the Pikes. So other than that, there wasn't a crazy amount of stuff that happened, but you can definitely see that Boba is starting to get somewhat of a name. When he first comes into Tatooine in the first chapter, it's just him and Fennec. Now he has some more guards around him. He has a little more meat. So it's interesting to see how the team is building. Not the team, but how Boba's leadership is bringing in more, not castaways, but just more clientele.
No, he has his own little squad now, and I could see it becoming not a syndicate because it's not going to be crime related, but it's almost going to become I could see it being like a local government type situation.
Yeah.
You know,
It's super interesting. And I saw something where I think it was Star Wars Theory pointed it out. Like, what if we had Bosk and Dengar hop in and we have a Suicide Squad for Star Wars?
literally Star Wars
Black
Suicide
Chrysanthemum.
Squad. That'd be
That'd be
sick.
awesome. But do you have any other thoughts on the episode?
No, I liked it. I just think we're seeing cool shots of Boba. I think we're getting some really cool fight scenes, and I'm really excited to see where this dream thing is going. I'm really liking the direction of the show, man. I'm really happy with it.
Damn. I don't even know what I was trying to say right there. Same, man. Same. And I'm very excited for chapter 4 because we're starting to get somewhere in the actual storyline, not and not primarily focused in the past. So I'm super excited to see next week. But anyway, guys, we really appreciate you hopping into our first episode review here on Carbonite Convos. If you haven't already, make sure to go check out our reaction. Throw a like on both if you found anything of value in them. We really, really appreciate it. And make sure to come check out our future videos where we will be here every week for a reaction and a review of the Book of Boba Fett. And we also have other videos throughout the weeks with podcast episodes and collection videos. But until the next one here on Carbonite Combos, may the force be with you.
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy.